Greetings. This is Wise Newbie in Polygyny Seeker page with my son, Ifayo, and of course his daddy. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Today we was going out, and then I had a little bit fit, and then they take care of me a lot. He take me some stores and feed me food. And he's
Hold up. That's not the type of content.
Sorry.
We're talking about raising a family in the way of teaching men how to find good wives. So it's for rites of passage for men. Thank you for telling everybody how you feel, but let's focus on learning about the rites of passage for young men and how to find a wife, how to prepare for a wife, how to be obedient to your daddy, and how to learn how to become a warrior. All right. You're shy, okay. You can talk, say what you want, but I just wanted to tell you what our topic was about. You went right in wanting to talk about stuff. So we're going to let you say what you want to say, and then we'll get on topic, okay? How about that?
Every time you see beautiful women, they always gotta have a man. But every time you see fat women, they're single and they want to marry daddy. And fat women like daddy. That's what they like.
Okay. Okay. All right, you got me there. Yeah, who's going to get into that? But we have to do due diligence. Due diligence basically means that you have to get what you need, get what you want, and make sure you stay on topic. One of the things I want to encourage you is to be proud of your culture. Be proud of your clothing, be proud of your artistic skills, and be proud of your due diligence, being able to work with your people. Men of color, do not sell yourself short. Do not interact with females, who has no interest, no respect for you. If a man feels that he has to be with a woman that's purified, that's what he's supposed to see. I would highly recommend that. A lot of women out here have a tendency of being very succubus orientated. They will tell you in a hot second how they need 3 men or 4 men or 5 men, each one for a particular reason. They're not overstanding that every time they get skeeted into, ejaculated into, the membrane of that sperm has a DNA and a memory factor that changes the personality of that woman, whether she know it or not. And when it goes inside of her, it changes her personality, it goes to her bloodstream, and she becomes a part of that man. Now imagine this woman having so many men ejaculating in them and changing their DNA that they become a Frankenstein. They become bipolar, schizophrenic, paranoid, unbalanced, and emotionally disturbed. That's what happens when a woman has too many men inside of her. But, of course, a lot of people don't want to hear that. But the end result is why we living in this, this plague, this abomination, this apocalypse that we're going through right now. Most women, especially women of color, are emotionally disturbed, bipolar, schizophrenic. And they will attempt to try the shaming tactics by saying, oh, your mama was black, your mama, your auntie, your cousin, your sister, your woman, they're all black. Oh, you don't like women. You got issues with women because you're talking about things that's putting women on blast and making them know that what they're doing is out of order. Oh, you ain't making enough money. You a simp. You thirsty because you seeking a certain kind of woman and you have morals and you thinking about what you're doing before you do it. Oh, you must got dad mommy issues. You know, it goes on and on and on. They use every tactic to put you down, to deflect what they doing that's out of order. I'm here to tell you, brethren, don't fall for the okie dokie. If you can't get a woman right now because they're not cooperating, then I highly suggest you work very hard to build up your income. You work very hard to build up your mannerism, your style, your culture, your health. Anything that'll help you stay away from the riffraff. Stay away from the things that's negative and not positive. Stay away from the simp wars. There's this young brother that I just fell into looking at. He calls it the Simp Nation. You liked it, that cartoon? He's really good. We're going to put that information at the bottom so you can go and listen to his stories. I know he's a modern day young man and he haven't had much experience, but the experiences he have is teaching a lot of young brothers what not to do. So I highly suggest you listen to him. I put a few other links, including my other pages and who I am. And I hope that I get a lot of feedback. But my objective is to encourage young men to be focused and to not be rebounds and not be a statistic for a succubus female. Don't go for it. We have to use code. We have to be on code now in order to be heard, to be seen, and to make sure we are talking about the things that need to be talked about without them being able to kick our video off for things that we tell the truth about. So, as always, men get on code. We learn how to talk. We counter the nonsense. We get rid of the riffraff. And we good to go. What is your thoughts on that?
I don't know. But
You don't know?
But all I know is, wow, every time they see them try to get her, they always blame on the man when he didn't do anything wrong.
And who is this that blaming on man?
Like we saw in a Korean, what we call
Oh, the females.
it? Yeah,
Female succubus.
yeah.
Yeah, we have to use it on code. We can't actually say what they are anymore. Because if we do, then they'll try to kick our video off the air. So we have to be smarter than that. Okay, I hear that a lot of these females are looking for, as they call it, high-value men. Well, let me define what high-value man is to me. A high-value man is someone who knows his culture, his history. He knows how to be disciplined, his mannerism, and he supports his Nubian original culture over the Western European culture. He don't have to work for the Caucasians to be treated right. He needs to start his own business if he have to, know what he needs to do to make money. We don't need to work for them. We don't need to be in so-called, quote-unquote, corporate America. That's not the only existence of wealth in the world. In every culture, they got very wealthy people. And they didn't have to wear a suit and tie. They didn't have to be westernized. And they didn't have to follow the code of Europeans. A lot of my brethren is beginning to see that even though they followed the code of the Europeans, they fail. They get into Bitcoin. They get into all the real estate. They get into all this stuff and then they get booted out. They have just as much shares as anybody else in the Caucasian man culture. And guess what? They get kicked out. They get their coins taken away. They get their income, investment taken away. And they plainly say, well, we don't want you in it. This is not for you, so we go take it. And then the man of color is sitting there and don't know what to do. You should never be a victim like that. No more you should be a victim of the BW female succubus ways. You have to learn how to make money among your people, with your people, and other people who will be open and respectful to you and your culture. If you do that, you'll succeed. Okay? Everything I got in this house, I had to find it. And it's not hard to find, but it is hard to obtain and sustain if you're not dealing with people of color to get it from. Ain't nobody of another race going to support you. They're not going to do it. They're not interested in your problems, your headaches, your shortcomings, your mental illness. They really don't care. We have to care about ourselves enough that we focus on ourselves. We don't need to go to Western philosophies and their concepts of what psychology is. We hurt ourselves every time. We're better than that. So, based on them thought patterns, I highly suggest that men of color start homing in on the empathic and strong will to help one another. We need to get the boys club, the men club, the culture club in order and work together with each other. What do you think?
I think that
Take your time. Say what you want to say.
I want to talk about my talk now.
You want to talk about your talk? But you didn't answer my question. What do you think about what I said?
I think about you tell the truth and you try to tell about details.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about? Let's go to you. Come on. Tell me what you got to say.
Are you sure I'll get mad at me?
No, I'm not going to get mad at you, son.
Okay, people, why do you eat animals for? Can't you eat just food or fish or something or chicken or something? You don't need to eat other animals. That doesn't make any sense. They're innocent too.
Okay, well, you see, my son has a strong desire to talk about products that is used as the animals being eaten. But I need to tell my son that everything on this planet ends up dying, and unfortunately, we eat off a dead something. If a plant gets pulled from the roots, it dies, and you're eating a dead plant. All right. If a fish come out of the water, you cut it up, it dies, and you're eating that fish, but it came from the sea. If you eat a chicken, which you don't eat, but I do, you cut his head off, the blood come out, it dies, and I have to eat it. So unfortunately, we are, in a sense, half zombies because we eat off of dead flesh. And that is not cool. Whether it's weeds, whether it's fruits and vegetables, everything we eat falls from the tree of life. And we pick it, we plant it, whatever, but when we eat it, it dies. Now, I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. We shouldn't eat lamb or cows or any kind of animal, and we should let them live because I'm sure they do a good process of helping vegetation to grow so we can eat better. But there are certain things, in my opinion, that's put on the earth that goes beyond our comprehension. That's why we live on a planet that's almost 90% water, and all that water has life in it. Seaweed plants, all kind of plants, vegetation in the sea, all kind of fish. You know, it's so many different type of fish. You got fish, we call them sea roaches, because if you look at a roach and then you look at crabs, and all these different type of crabs, they in the sea. They look just like roaches. And so when people be talking about, well, I don't like roaches and bugs, well, you eating bugs of the sea. And people talk about, well, you know, I don't want to eat fish. Well, fish has a lot to help us with. And, you know, I can't say that everybody should just eat fish because I say so. We have to be careful of everything. And the humans have always, unfortunately, a lot of humans, bad humans, are destroying the water. They put radiation in there, and it's causing our body to become deformed. It's causing us to die. So there's a lot going on. We're at war with everything, everybody, all the time. So us eating is very hard. It's very hard to eat, you know, and we are mortals, and we live a very little life. The average human can live up to 75 to 80 years, and it's over with. If you make it past and make it to 90 or even 100, that's unique, but it's still very rare. And then the aging process is so overwhelming. So in order for us to be better humans, we have to do a lot of research and look really deep into how to survive and how to be better people, in my opinion. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, but...
Go ahead.
How would we just eat fish or chicken? How would we just eat lasagna or...
What's in lasagna?
I don't think lasagna or alive. I don't think they were...
Lasagna is mixed with various vegetables. It could be greens in it. It could be spinach in it. These are live plants. In lasagna, you also have other types of eggplant and I can't name them all. Mushrooms. All these are plants that come from the earth and they die before we eat them. I know. Hey, look, man, don't get yourself all caught up. Just go with the flow. Everything is for a reason. We eat less human or animals as we can. But again, I'm being real, so I'm going to teach you the truth. Everything we eat has to die, whether we like it or not. But you choose to eat the best you can. So you won't be a so-called vegetarian, but you could be a conscious eater. What is the word? A health inducer. I'm sure we're going to round out the proper word if somebody can give a suggestion on what type of intake we should have that won't harm anybody. But bear in mind, everything that we eat comes from life. That's it. But that doesn't mean you have to give up. That means you just have to be more aware of what you eat and try to eat the best way you can. And then we could go to a higher level. And the higher level is whatever we intake, it just goes to a higher level. As we process it, nothing really dies. Because even though we process it and digest it, it comes out and preserves life again. And the factor rewinds and goes around. Like if we eat, we digest the food, it come out as poop. And when it come out as poop, we plant it in the ground to help grow other food.
Oh.
Yeah. We breathe out carbon dioxide because we intake oxygen. So it helps the trees.
Oh my God.
Okay? So everything we do, our body has some kind of way of helping the world, the earth. And it's a reprocess. We may not know all the details, but nothing really dies. And we're always improving ourselves on one level or another. You just have to be open to knowing what it is.
That's a point.
So, what do you feel about that?
I just feel about I don't want anything to die, sorry.
Okay. So, hopefully that makes sense about everything that's eating or digesting could come out again to be healthy for us. I'm sure even the yarn has a way to help something. We may not know now, but maybe in 100 years we'll know. I may not be around, but you may be around. You never know, right? You'll be 109 years old, but at least you'll be alive, right?
I wish I'd be immortal.
And me too. I want to be immortal. I want to live for 10,000 years so I can see everything. And then I understand things better.
But Toad said she wish she'd be immortal so could she see the city turn into a robot?
Okay, you're going to turn into something, right?
Yeah, next year's.
Next year's. Talk about future.
I didn't.
Okay, what else you want to talk about?
I guess, that's it.
Okay, can I finish off?
Okay.
So, back to what I'm saying. Everything is for a reason, and we have to evolve. Men of color, you have to remember that you had war with a whole bunch of different factions. You had war with the BW because they're mentally and emotionally disturbed. And if you raised up in that one-parent household, I'm sorry to tell you that you're a victim of the abuse. But you have to be strong, and you have to be willing to come up with a way to get out of that abuse. It ain't gonna never be easy. It's always gonna be something that can cause more conflict in your life. But if you mature and you figure out how to move through life with logic and intellect, I guarantee you'll be successful and come up with a way to better yourself and have a better plan. So with that in mind, you have to remember that everything is for a reason, and we have to be a part of that solution than to be a part of that problem. If any of you brethren want to get information on how to start your civilization, your family, your clan, your nation, reach out to me. And as my youngest daughter said, subscribe.
Hit that button.
Hit that like button. Thumbs up. She had me rolling. And I really want to get the support. I really want to make this video go viral. I really want to get more subscribers. I want to be able to have a voice to encourage young men of color to be proud of who they are, to have a culture, a history, a language. I'm offering that to you through my research and what I went through to get to this level. All right. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.